the last time I felt loved, like unconditional love, was when I went out with my daughter and we went for a hike and we went up to like Griffith Observatory, right? You know, as little kids do, she kind of had like a little meltdown. And then I was sitting there and I was talking with her, and then she was like, "No, I don't want to be strong on it." And I was like, "Baby, like if we can just talk right now, have you like settle yourself." And eventually, yeah, she kind of like give her some water, give her a snack, and then she just like held me for a little bit. Then she asked me to hold her and like walk her down. So then I put her on my shoulders and we just finished the rest of the hike. And at the end of it, like when I take her off my shoulders and there's that little playground at the very like bottom of Griffith Park, and she runs to it and like she comes back, gives me a hug before she goes back and go to play with like the rest of those children, and she's like, "Love you, Dad." And I was like, "Oh, this is great. Like this is like absolutely beautiful."
Truly loved.
Damn.
It's a deep question. um, I guess it was like when I was like the lowest point in my life. Just some things happened between like longtime friends who I had placed like trust in for over 10 years and just kind of betrayed in that way. And seeing like my friends and family back me up despite like the mistakes I had made. I guess that's when I felt like truly loved. Like despite me going through that or being the way I was, like they still loved me for who I was and was there for me when I needed them. My mom took me on a shopping spree because I didn't get out of bed for a couple days at that point, so I knew that was her like trying to kind of entice me to come out, and it did work. And my friends just kind of sat there and they didn't push me to open up or share my feelings or anything, but they just let me know like if you want to talk about it, we're here. If you want to be distracted, we're here. If you want to fuck around, we're here. So yeah. Oh, can I curse?
When I was at like sort of my lowest points and I didn't really know who my real friends were, a couple of my friends took me out on like a dinner for my birthday, and it was just like, I'm not really like confrontational or direct, so like that indirect way of kind of like showing that you care really made me feel loved in essence, and it was really good. So
Hard. Okay. So I work in theater and like in the music industry and stuff, and I actually had my friends road trip down and came and surprised me at a show. I didn't know they were coming one time, they actually didn't tell me like the whole time that they were there, but I realized that they were in the audience like partway through the show because I was like, I recognized their voices, and then at the end they like burst out of the auditorium and they were like, "Oh my god, it was so good," and just like telling me about how much they had loved it, and I had no idea, no one had told me, but they had driven, oh god, I think it's like a 4-hour drive or something like that, so they'd come pretty far, and it was like really close to finals, but they still made time, and like they came to see me, and it was great. We had a great weekend.
What is your name?
Stephanie?
The question is, what is one story in your life where you felt truly loved?
Last week when I graduated, my brother, he came all the way out here to visit me, came with my nana and my uncle, and my parents, which are really, my nana's like 90 years old, so it was really, I really appreciated that she came all this way for me because she lives in Toronto. But my brother, he wrote me this really lovely card, and he folded it into like an origami flower. And he did that because when I first left for college, like 5 years ago, he made me the same kind of flower to like wish me good luck. And he just wrote a really touching personal card, so that made me feel really loved.
When have I felt truly loved? Oh, that's like a big one on the spot, and I'm waiting for a lift. I used to like act and do plays a lot when I was younger, and just like being on the stage and seeing my parents in the crowd and like having that love and support. Sounds kind of like, I don't know, a little like self-centered, but like that's when I felt like kind of really loved and admired. So
I would be stubborn about taking my medication, but then my friends would like hold me down and take me to the nurse so I can go get my medicine and make sure I feel better. I think that's like the best example I have. It was like a minute kind of thing, but it kind of meant a lot to me that I have people that like care about my well-being and like just care about me in general.
You mean genuinely loved? The type of love that sometimes doesn't exist in LA? Genuinely loved? I think it was back in 2012. I was at the like kids camp. I was taking responsibility for probably 20 different kids, and I was 19 or 20 back then. And yeah, I fell in love with the girl, and I was writing poems for her, and she was writing letters. So it was like genuine poetic love, you know? Like pure, you're young, innocent, you haven't seen a lot of things in the world yet, so it's like from the deepest places of your heart. Yeah, back then it was genuine love. Yeah, I felt loved, and I loved too.
Like, I believe we're all storytellers,
Yeah.
and so I just like ask people to tell a story about their life.
I don't know if this is what you're looking for, but this just came into my head. My dog, when I go home for like breaks at school, he never sleeps anywhere besides my mom's bed. And the last day before I left, he somehow always knows. And he's so sad, and he slept in the bed with me the whole night, and the night after I left, waiting for me to hope I came back. Felt really loved.
What is a story from your life where you felt truly loved?
Probably when I came out here, actually to USC, I met a group of friends. I met them in July when I first moved out here. I didn't know them nearly as long as I've known most of the people in my life, and they showed up to events that I was going to out here, and they didn't really, know me all that well at the time. So it made me feel like they really valued me as a person, and they were taking time out of their schedule, out of being students and things like that, to come support me, because I'm not from California, I'm from the Midwest, so I don't have anybody out here. So I feel like they kind of became my chosen family out here, so that really made me feel loved and supported out here, so far away from home. So you have a good rest of your day.
You too,
All right,
brother.
take care.